Something extraordinary has been hiding in plain sight. Some coins in this category have subtle design details, fascinating history, and collector clues that many people overlook, even after years of handling them. The more closely you look, the more surprising the story becomes, and a few of these discoveries might completely change the way you see these coins. If you enjoy uncovering rare coin mysteries like this video, leave a comment, share it with fellow collectors, and subscribe for more rare coin discoveries. Now, let's take a closer look at the first coin. First coin. 1938 Lincoln wheat cent has a way of stopping even experienced collectors in their tracks because, at first glance, it can appear to be just another old penny that spent decades passing from one pocket to another. Yet beneath its familiar bronze surface lies a fascinating story that connects the closing years of the Great Depression with one of America's most recognizable coin designs. As millions of these cents entered circulation, no one could have imagined that certain surviving examples would eventually become prized collectibles. Every tiny detail, from the sharpness of Lincoln's portrait to the texture of the wheat ears on the reverse, tells a story of survival, history, and craftsmanship. The coin represents a remarkable period when Americans valued every cent they owned, making well-preserved examples increasingly difficult to find today and encouraging collectors to search through forgotten jars, inherited collections, and family keepsakes with renewed excitement. The obverse displays Abraham Lincoln's timeless profile, accompanied by the familiar inscriptions that have become symbols of American numismatic history, while the reverse features the iconic pair of wheat stalks surrounding the denomination. Although millions were produced, not every coin left the mint with identical quality, and decades of circulation further separated ordinary pieces from exceptional survivors. Some retained crisp details, strong luster, and well-defined lettering, while others developed rich chocolate-brown tones, vibrant red surfaces, or attractive red-brown combinations that dramatically influence collector interest. Even subtle differences in strike quality can transform an otherwise common-looking cent into an impressive collectible, especially when every line of Lincoln's coat, hair, and the wheat kernels remains boldly visible after nearly a century. Collectors often become especially fascinated by the unexpected characteristics that occasionally appear on 1938 Lincoln wheat cents. Careful examination sometimes reveals letter doubling, slightly off-center strikes, unusual strike alignment, broad or irregular rims, or other mint-made anomalies that distinguish one coin from thousands of ordinary examples. While many marks found on older cents are simply the result of circulation damage, genuine mint errors attract significant attention because they originated during the manufacturing process itself. That distinction is why experienced collectors recommend studying every design element under proper magnification before reaching conclusions. A seemingly minor difference can dramatically change a coin's desirability, making patience, knowledge, and professional verification essential parts of the collecting journey. The historical setting surrounding the 1938 Lincoln wheat cent adds another layer of fascination. America was steadily recovering from difficult economic times, and everyday commerce depended heavily on low-denomination coins that changed hands countless times each day. Most of these cents fulfilled their intended purpose before eventually disappearing into drawers, piggy banks, or forgotten collections, where many remained untouched for generations. Every surviving high-quality example escaped decades of heavy wear through a unique chain of circumstances, creating a sense of mystery that continues to inspire collectors today. Holding one of these coins is like holding a small artifact from an era defined by resilience, determination, and the hope of better days ahead. That growing scarcity explains why collector demand can become surprisingly strong when outstanding examples appear on the market. Documented collector sales and auction results have shown that certain minor variations or especially desirable examples may bring approximately $2,500 to $3,500, while high-grade certified pieces have reached around $5,000. Coins displaying unusual mint anomalies have achieved figures near $6,000, and especially attractive collector pieces have approached $7,500. Exceptionally preserved or uncommon examples have realized roughly $8,000, while unusual finds with particularly strong collector demand have climbed to about $8,500. Extraordinary examples possessing exceptional preservation, remarkable eye appeal, or historically significant characteristics have, in documented collector or auction situations where applicable, reached values of up to $9,000. These figures represent past market activity only and are never guaranteed for any individual coin. Imagining a single old cent carrying that kind of potential naturally captures people's attention, because discoveries like these can feel comparable to finding the funds for a home down payment, receiving an unexpected financial windfall, or experiencing a once-in-a-lifetime discovery hiding in plain sight. Yet experienced collectors understand that excitement should always be balanced with careful research. A coin's condition, originality, certification, rarity, and authenticity ultimately determine whether it belongs among ordinary circulated examples or among the remarkable pieces that inspire competitive bidding. Countless coins that appear valuable at first glance prove to be common after careful examination, while a few overlooked treasures quietly surprise even seasoned hobbyists. Before considering any sale or purchase, experts recommend examining every important characteristic with great care. Verify the coin's weight using a precise scale, confirm that its metal composition matches expectations, study whether its color appears natural rather than artificially altered, inspect the strike alignment for unusual characteristics, evaluate the rim shape for abnormalities, and carefully inspect all lettering for genuine doubling rather than machine damage or wear. Good lighting and proper magnification can reveal details invisible to the naked eye, but professional authentication remains one of the most valuable steps because independent grading and verification provide confidence for both buyers and sellers while helping distinguish authentic mint errors from ordinary post-mint damage. The real magic of the 1938 Lincoln wheat cent is that it reminds collectors how history, craftsmanship, and chance can come together inside an object small enough to rest on a fingertip, transforming an overlooked piece of everyday currency into something capable of inspiring fascination across generations. Whether your own example proves to be a modest keepsake or an exceptional rarity, every careful inspection deepens your understanding of one of America's most beloved coin series. And just when it seems this remarkable journey has revealed all of its secrets, another astonishing coin is waiting to challenge everything you thought you knew about hidden treasures still circulating through history. Next coin. 1941 United States Lincoln wheat penny made of copper looks so ordinary that countless examples have passed through grocery store cash registers, piggy banks, forgotten coffee cans, and family coin jars without earning a second glance. Yet beneath that familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln and the classic wheat ears on the reverse lies a remarkable story shaped by a nation standing on the edge of enormous change. Produced during a period when American industry was accelerating toward wartime readiness, this humble 1-cent coin quietly became part of everyday commerce, while millions of citizens focused on events far bigger than pocket change. Today, that very familiarity has become its disguise, because collectors know that the most surprising discoveries often begin with coins everyone else assumes are common. Every tiny detail, from the sharpness of Lincoln's beard to the spacing of the lettering and the texture of the fields, can transform an overlooked cent into a fascinating collectible, whose true significance only becomes clear after careful examination. The journey of the 1941 Lincoln wheat penny started inside powerful coining presses that struck millions upon millions of copper cents for circulation. But no industrial process is ever perfectly identical. Fresh dies produced crisp details, while older dies slowly wore down, changing the appearance of later strikes in subtle ways that trained collectors continue to study decades later. Some coins left the presses with exceptionally bold features, while others displayed slight imperfections created during the demanding production schedule. Tiny differences in strike pressure, die condition, planchet preparation, and alignment produced an astonishing variety that keeps specialists searching through rolls and collections even today. The fact that so many were made does not eliminate rarity, because survival in outstanding condition and the presence of unusual minting characteristics are what separate ordinary survivors from remarkable collector pieces. Visually, the coin rewards patience rather than speed. Its warm copper color can range from bright original red to rich reddish brown, and eventually deep chocolate brown depending on storage and exposure over the decades. The delicate lines in Lincoln's hair, the contours of his coat, the shape of the date, and the bold wheat stalks surrounding the words "1 cent" all tell a story about how well the coin was struck and preserved. Some examples display nearly flawless surfaces with glowing mint luster that seems untouched by circulation, while others reveal faint contact marks from decades of handling. Collectors often become captivated by the challenge of finding a coin that combines beautiful original color, sharp detail, and minimal wear, proving that even a coin produced in enormous numbers can possess an individuality impossible to duplicate. Hidden among these cents are mint-made surprises that continue to excite experts because they were never intended to exist. Slight doubled lettering, misplaced die alignment, broad strike characteristics, off-center impressions, die cracks, retained cuds, and other production anomalies occasionally escaped quality control before entering circulation. In rare situations, striking pressure and die movement combine to leave unmistakable evidence that something unusual happened inside the coining chamber at precisely the right moment. These fascinating errors are not simply mistakes. They are frozen snapshots of the manufacturing process itself, preserving mechanical events that lasted only fractions of a second. That is why experienced collectors inspect every detail with magnification, instead of relying on first impressions, knowing that the smallest irregularity may reveal an extraordinary minting story concealed beneath an otherwise familiar appearance. Stories surrounding this penny have fueled generations of collectors, because discoveries often happen where nobody expects them. A forgotten coin tucked inside an inherited envelope, an old family album stored in an attic, or a handful of cents found while cleaning a dresser drawer has occasionally led someone to realize they possess something much more significant than loose change. While countless similar stories end with completely ordinary coins, documented cases of overlooked collectible examples remind enthusiasts that remarkable finds still occur. The emotional impact rarely comes from the money alone. It comes from recognizing that an object ignored for decades carried hidden historical importance all along. That possibility continues inspiring people to slow down, examine each coin carefully, and appreciate that remarkable collecting moments usually begin with ordinary-looking pieces rather than obvious treasures. Only after understanding those qualities does the discussion naturally turn toward value, and it is essential to remember that prices always depend on authenticity, condition, rarity, eye appeal, and collector demand at the time of sale. Documented auction or private sale results, where applicable, have shown notable examples reaching approximately $5,000 to $7,000, while certain higher-grade error pieces have realized around $8,000. Strong mint-state specimens with exceptional preservation have approached roughly $8,200, and unusual mint mistakes have achieved around $8,700 under favorable market conditions. Major authenticated error coins have reached about $9,000, while exceptionally rare documented error examples have climbed as high as $35,000 in extraordinary circumstances. None of these figures is guaranteed for any individual coin, and even visually similar pieces can differ dramatically in value after professional examination. Before assuming any 1941 Lincoln wheat penny belongs in one of those remarkable categories, responsible collectors carefully evaluate measurable characteristics instead of relying on internet rumors or hopeful guesses. Check the coin's weight against proper specifications. Confirm that its metal composition matches an authentic copper issue. Observe whether the color appears natural. Inspect the strike alignment for irregularities. Study the rim for unusual expansion or distortion, and look closely for genuine letter doubling rather than damage caused by circulation. Good lighting, proper magnification, and patient observation are far more valuable than rushing toward unrealistic expectations. If anything appears genuinely unusual, professional authentication through a respected grading and attribution service is strongly recommended before buying, selling, or assigning significant value, because expert verification separates legitimate rarities from ordinary coins with post-mint damage. Perhaps that is why the 1941 United States Lincoln wheat penny continues captivating collectors after so many decades. It represents the possibility that history, craftsmanship, and chance can intersect inside the smallest denomination Americans once spent without hesitation. Every surviving example carries evidence of its journey through changing generations, and somewhere among countless ordinary cents, a truly exceptional specimen may still be waiting for someone patient enough to recognize it. Whether the reward is historical appreciation, the excitement of identifying an authentic mint error, or the rare opportunity to uncover a coin worthy of documented high-end auction attention, the greatest lesson remains unchanged. Extraordinary discoveries belong to those who examine carefully, verify responsibly, and never underestimate the remarkable stories hidden inside the most ordinary-looking copper penny.